Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. I hope you're doing well. It's July 22nd, 2025. Please tap right in, get ourselves a message. Storyline for the collective, please, Spirit. Storyline for the collective. Okay. In the central energy. We've got strength. In the challenge position, we've got the Seven of Swords in the reverse. So somebody may have gotten caught. Somebody got caught. They may come clean. There may be some kind of a confession going on. In the subconscious. Three of Wands. Moving forward. Moving forward, advancing. In the recent past. In the recent past, we've got the Lovers reversed. Somebody made bad choices in love. They're getting detached. They don't feel the same way about love. Intentions and expectations. Tower. Tower. They're in a tower. Got caught being malicious. And these two kind of wanted to come out, so I'm just going to pull them. So they're in a tower. They got caught being malicious. We've got the Three of Swords. So there's a divorce. Somebody's getting. Somebody was disloyal. So the truth is out. Ace of Swords. So they were not loyal. Marriage was just for gain, for profit. So they're getting cut out because it was a game. They were malicious. And they got caught. The lens is being looked through. The Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands. In the environment. In the environment, we've got the Empress reversed. Empress reversed. Somebody's trying to be charming. hopes and fears. Ace of Pentacles. They're hoping that they get this abundance. So yeah, so they're still making plans. They're still talking about relationship. Somebody may be trying to come in and get a relationship with you so that they can share it with this Empress reversed. The outgoing energy. Chariot. Moving forward. On the bottom of the deck, we've got history. So, yeah. So, Queen of Swords and Team look like they're looking at the history of these Two of Cups unions. And so the King of Swords is here also working hard, high standards. So King and Queen of Swords are here looking at the truth of the history, I suppose, of Two of Cups unions. And the Sun is turning the wheel. Very swiftly, there'll be love, a whole bunch of love. But you've got this Page of Cups coming in, wanting to offer new love, but you got your barriers up. You're defending yourself, or maybe you persevered through all of these immature love offers. And then you've got a Knight of Cups here that's suffering death. And it's the end of a cycle, and you are victorious. Over this scenario. Okay, so wish come true. You're very strong. Courageous. And you're entering into your wish come true, a life of luxury. In the challenge position, we've got somebody getting caught being malicious. They're confessing. They're in regret. Yeah. Generosity. They're revealing the truth about the Six of Pentacles. They could be revealing the truth regarding your generosity. The curator was talking about Genesis and how this goes way back. It's like they betrayed the feminine in the garden, like and the masculine. It's like they did something way back then. They betrayed God's trust. It's like God gave them the gifts. If it truly was Adam and Eve, it's like they gave them a man and a woman with gifts, and they were creating this beautiful space. And it's like these vultures came in and kicked them out, and then started force breeding everybody and trying to eliminate the. Yeah. Oh, they're in trouble. Eve didn't do jack. Except maybe they might have given like a magically tainted food substance, which shut the consciousness off of the feminine in the garden, and then it made vulnerable her masculine, and then they took him out. They sacrificed him and they took over. This went way back to the beginning. Right away, they betrayed God with the gifts that He provided them. Yeah. And then they twisted everything. So there's preparations being made. You've got plans. Your plans are in motion. This is an enterprise. It could be spreading across the seas. We've got the moon here. It might be hidden. Whatever this enterprise is might be hidden. Lovers reversed. We've got detachment. Somebody doesn't know what to do. They've been talking about relationship. They need to get back in your energy. Yeah. So it's like you've got the lovers in the reverse, disharmony, misalignment of values, and detachment of the Knight of Wands. They have a fear of commitment, but it looks like you got somebody coming in, or maybe they just don't know what to do because they're in a tower here. Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands is here in the lens it's looking through. So this fella, whoever this is, he's not backing off. He's in a freaking tower. And for his history, I heard the divine, Most High, the need for vengeance is in the history. So this person who had a fear of commitment, or who brought disharmony and imbalance to love unions, intimate love unions, this Knight of Wands is in a tower due to the history. We've got the Three of Swords here, so there's a divorce. You're done because you're so disloyal and you betrayed everybody. The truth is out here with the Ace of Swords. That's the truth. And they're stuck at a crossroads. They're in a tower. They're stuck at a crossroads. So what they're doing here is they're coming forward and they're looking for a relationship. They wanna get with you because they've been disconnected. There is an Empress reverse here in the environment. So you got a selfish person that's overwhelmed. They might be full of anxiety. They might not know what to do. They're having anxiety. They could be having anxiety over your light, over your rebirth, over your faith, over your purpose. They're codependent on your energy. They're South Node, in the extreme. They have a hope for your Ace of Pentacles here. They want to be you. They want to replace you. They need somebody to come in and get a relationship with you so that they can do you a thing and they can take over your... So they're right there in the environment, codependent on your freaking star energy. So they want your abundance, your Ace of Pentacles here, because they're looking at this 10 of Wands. It could be that they're in fear over your abundance and the completion of your heavy burden. We got the Chariot here, a victory, and forward movement for a King of Wands. Overcoming challenges. And he's bringing nightmares to these people who were creating conflict, trying to take your reward, your life, your future, your purpose for being here. So those who are fighting with this Emperor, he won the fight. He's in the Chariot, and he's overcome those challenges. So we are manifesting something here, going on a new endeavor. It's an enterprise. It's overseas. This is something that's worldwide, it looks like. And somebody's getting left behind. Somebody's disappointed here, getting left behind, because you are persevering, working with sustainable results and a victory here. Again, you got your Chariot. Going places. There's still a bunch of stalkers out there. I hear them talking about cameras. They're concerned about home security and cameras. They're talking about the work location. They're getting serious. They need to capture the vessel which houses the soul and the spirit. Because their magic's not working anymore. So they have to come out into the light to do a thing, and they're concerned about being seen, being recognized, being identified, getting caught on camera, being recorded. So you're very strong. You got strength here. You're coming in to your wish come true, your life of luxury. These ones are really pissed off. They want it. They think you're just a shiny little peasant and you don't deserve to have what it is that you generate just by being alive. This is here because of who you are. And these ones don't think you deserve to have what comes with being you. Debauchee. Okay, so Spirit Divine says they are full of debauchee. Yeah, you got a lot of envious people here. You're entering into a wish come true, a life of luxury. You're very strong, and they're very envious. Somebody got caught being malicious. They could be telling the truth about the generosity of you, how you were very generous. So they may be confessing. You were very generous with these people, and they got caught being malicious to you. Yeah, you were very generous with the gifts of your soul that benefit you and others. You are very generous with your gifts. And they were envious of you. They wanted to be the one to share, but guess what? These ones never shared. They hoarded it, and then they pranced around like they were special. Death. So you're moving forward. There is the moon here. It's illusion, it's fear, it's anxiety, and it's death. So they're moving forward into death of the illusion. death of the illusion. It is over. Everybody can see very clearly that those who are full of debauchery have been unaliving people for their gain. And because they never earned it by going through the suffering, by coming into holy alignment according to the Most High God, becoming ready to support those gifts and use them wisely, they decided to take shortcuts and pretend. And you can see what happened with the state of the world. So it looks like the Lovers is reversed here for this Knight of Wands. They had a fear of commitment. They're getting detached from the Lovers. They were bringing imbalance to love unions. Gratitude. They were bringing imbalance to people who were grateful for life. And now they're in a tower due to the history of bringing imbalance to grateful people who just wanted to love them. And they're losing their freedom. They're losing their freedom because of what they've done in the history. They're getting divorced. They're getting because of the disloyalty, because of the betrayal. The truth is here. They're at a crossroads here. They want to avoid it. They're in a deadlock. Difficult decisions are being made in order to restore balance. Regarding union, regarding love. We want harmony in the world. We don't want competition for some stinky little black hole or wand that's been overused. So the Knight of Wands is getting disconnected. We don't want that kind of stuff around the children of the new cycle. You know, the children and the grandchildren and the great-grandchildren and the extended family tree, you know, those little ones when they grow up deserve something other in their lives than debauchery, infidelity, betrayal, deceit, getting with you just so they can hurt you real bad and send you into the next life cycle of suffering for their gain. I mean, this is just ridiculous, man. So they're being disconnected. They're having doubts. This Empress is here, overwhelmed, anxiety-ridden, very selfish. They're codependent on the stars' energy and light. And mind. The light of the mind. The creator of the stars' mind. The healer. There's so they're afraid because the star has this abundance here, and they're in their job, they're in their career, they're doing what they need to do, they're moving forward, and they're bringing death to the illusion. This is the end of your Ten of Wands burden. You have completed your journey, your path, and they're in fear. So now it's like their magic's not working anymore, and now they're getting desperate. They're stalking somebody. They want their location, where they live, where they work, what their license plate number is. They want their schedule, their patterns, their security in their home. They're really stalking somebody, planning a thing. You've got the Chariot here, so you got a victory over this. King of Wands, you've overcome your challenges, and somebody is in regret. You're focused on your career. Somebody's in regret about this change. This change in relationships serving the higher good. Friendships and relationships are here to serve the higher good. So you have overcome the challenges here, King of Wands, and somebody is in regret over this change. They want to play around. They don't want to take relationships seriously. They're not interested in creating a family tree. They want to have children so that they can siphon out the spiritual inheritance. so that they can place their sin upon them and then cast them into the next lifetime of misery carrying that burden. I don't know. Take it as it resonates. I've heard stories. I don't really know the practices. Somebody's guilty and they need to surrender their need to control things. You are courageous and you're stepping into your purpose as a limitless, abundant being. You can manifest whatever you want. And these people want to step right in and pretend to be you, but they can't manifest anything. They have to command, demand, and embody the energy and then overtake the mind of a star. They're prideful. They're prideful. So they're in the environment just waiting to overtake your light and your mind. Star. You're very strong here. You're coming into your wish come true. This is a life of luxury and they're very, very envious. They don't want you to have it. The cycle has closed. You have closed the previous cycle. So the new cycle has started. We still have some stragglers here. They're willing to do the work of their overlord or their master or whatever. And they're sending them out to eliminate the 3D body so that you won't be able to be in your purpose, start your business, be an influencer in the world, and change the trajectory of this debauchery that everybody's been under. Fear, shame, guilt, sin. They've been laying their sin on every freaking body. Right away, we got bent. So somebody's envious. They got to get something off their chest. They're envious. They're coming clean. They may be confessing about your generosity and your gifts, how you utilize them to help people. We've got unsolicited advice in the reverse. They didn't take any advice. They didn't take your advice. They didn't ask for your advice. They didn't want it. And they're confessing now about your generosity, about how generous you were with your wealth and with your gifts, your time, your effort, your energy. You were very generous. So now there's a moving forward with death to the illusion. People are in fear. Apologizing. They didn't take your advice. Nobody liked your perspective on reality. They didn't want to do the work. They just wanted to go drink, party, do drugs, drive around big fancy cars and live in big houses and go on vacations. They didn't want to do the work that it takes to gain the wish come true that you're coming into. So they brought imbalance to loving unions on the regular. People who were thankful for life, who cared about others, they would bring imbalance to them and screw up their whole freaking mind and their whole freaking life. So they're in a tower over the history about what they've been doing here, and they're losing their freedom. Losing their freedom. They're feeling very negative. This says, I'm hiding my true intentions and I don't actually care about your well-being. So they never actually cared about anybody that they've been having sex with. Their only intention was to destroy their happiness, to destroy their success, to lay on them their filthy little mind and their nasty little energy and all of their karmic debt, probably for their whole entire family of thieves and stuff. So they're getting X'd out. They're a betrayer, they're disloyal, and that's the truth. That's the truth. So we've got the Two of Swords here. You got the truth here. You're weighing your options. You're making difficult decisions. You're bringing a state of perfect harmony into the world. You're restoring balance. And your career here regarding the future, or maybe this is your future career, to restore perfect harmony in the world. To restore balance. This is the career of your future. Because these ones, they got to get out, man. They have to get out. This is nasty. It's simply nasty. You got this Empress reversed here. She's just waiting. She's drooling. She's panicking. She's rolling around, probably spitting out magic, or maybe she wants to come do the deed herself. She needs your light, and she needs access to your mind, because otherwise she's not seen as an Empress. So you got a Knight of Wands here. Mr. Charming got disconnected from the energy, and they're having doubts. They're envious here. They want to undermine the success of everybody that they feel has more than them. The way that they feel successful is by getting rid of everyone who is. And then they live in the slums and wear fancy clothes and tell themselves how great they are. They're freaking delusional. You got the Empress reversed here. She's codependent on the light of the star, on being rejuvenated by you. She's codependent on your mind. And we've got plans in the reverse. So they don't know what to do. We've got, can we please make plans to get together soon? And it's no, there's no plans. So no, there's no plans. She doesn't know what to do. She doesn't have a plan. She's codependent on your light, on your healing qualities, and on your mind and your mental connections. They're afraid because you've got this new career here in the future. It's a completion of your 10 of Wands burden. They're in fear. You got a new job. You know what they've been doing, what they did to you, and what they've been doing to others. They're desperate to get rid of you. They got all their men, all their boys, and all their women and girls coming after you, and it's been that way for at least decades in this particular cycle. This is the countdown. This is it. Apparently you've closed out the cycle, but they want to eliminate you before you can get going again. Like in Genesis. Apparently we might be in a new Genesis. And they want to come and they want to steal the garden again. They want to come in and knock you out. The King of Wands is here overcoming challenges. He's got a victory here. And we've got somebody's in regret about this change. You know, friendships and relationships will serve the higher good. We're no more of this siphoning off of others and using them in order to feel alive or feel successful. Perspective. We've got a new perspective here. It's a unique perspective on what relationships should be. Now, and health. A new perspective on health. What is healthy? What is healthy? You got these hoe bags out there spreading disease rampantly. Spending money that they never earned. Hurting people that they never met. It's ridiculous. Or meeting somebody, hooking up and saying, whoa, and then 3 dates later, you know, wham, bam, karma offload and destroy your freaking world. Your mental, your emotional, and everything. Maybe get somebody pregnant, leave them behind, tell them how worthless they are. These people, they're not nice. So what we're going to do is be truthful and transparent in all interactions, even when it may be difficult. So there's a perspective regarding health and honesty, transparency. No more secrets. No more getting one over on. We've got friends and relationships that you can count on and trust that when they say something, it's the truth. They're not getting fancy-footed on you. Gonna come up with an uppercut someday. So this is bad news. And we got a whole bunch of folks out there yelling at each other. They're very unhappy. They want you to feel bad too. They're stalking you here. See, they were finding hurting you amusing. They were being entertained while you grew. All of them were trying to and actually hurting you, and you grew through it while they were just sitting back getting drunk and effing their way around in the muddy little holes that they were hanging out in. They're feeling very unfriendly and hostile right now because they need the support of this gift, or maybe you are receiving support because you are the gift. Take it as it resonates. You know, there's a tribe here that does not like you, but they feel obligated to associate with you because you have the gift. You are the gift. Now, another thing that they were saying, like in the night, they were saying, we can sell you stuff. So it's like whoever this is, it's like they're trying to get some kind of a trade agreement, right? So that what? So that they can curse the supplies that they're selling to you, so that they can bring in magically charged and cursed and hexed or voodooed or whatever the hell into your land and your territory and feed it to the people or give it to the people so that somehow it affects their minds and their energies. No, man. These ones, you don't want to buy anything from these people. They're not a good merchant. They need a loan. They need a loan, and they're very curious about what you're doing because they still want to manipulate and gaslight the minds. They want to control minds. They need to get their magical, hex, curse stuff. They need to get it into the territory somehow. They need sage advice. They need a safe space. People are talking about it, and there's a lot of I'm sorries. But you're uninterested in that. You're a being of love, and you're uninterested in that. And they're not interested in love. They're interested in revenge. So when they come up and say, I'm sorry, you know, let's be friends, they're only interested in revenge. Why? Because they were laughing while they were lying about you. They were laughing while hundreds of them came and tried to squash you. You did the impossible. They thought that it was never, ever going to ever be possible. And you did it. And now, shit's hitting the fan. They're going to travel and sabotage or try to sabotage you. They want to sabotage your traveling forth into this space here that you will be welcomed in. So just be careful, because you've got an imposter out here. See, you're very positive about this, but this imposter is very uncertain, and you should be, because if they're asking you for a date, it's a trick. It's a trick, and they're going to come in very friendly, but they are collaborating with these greedy people who just want to check back into your energy, okay, and secretly cause you chaos. Reconnect with the past. They need an invitation into your new chapter. You got to be very careful. They got lots of folks stalking you right now. Lots of folks are stalking you. They may hit you with a 1, 2, 3, 4 masculine friend, girlfriend, you know, love interest, whatever. You got people wanting to come up and get in your energy. Be wary. Be wary. We can sell you stuff. We can help you. Yeah, no. Okay, because they're envious. They got to get something off their chest. They might have something. They might have an attachment on their heart space or something. Overloaded. They're overloaded and overwhelmed. They got something on them. They want to confess. They got caught being malicious. They're confessing about your generosity with your pentacles and the gifts of your soul. You were very generous. And these people did not take your advice. Instead, they thought they would tear you down and take from you what you were freely giving. Command your star, abundant, rejuvenated energies. Look, you've got mercy here. You've got aid. You've got aid. You were helping them. You were offering them charity. They did not take your advice. They didn't want to go be loving. They wanted to be lustful and cruel and nasty. So you're moving forward. And they're in fear and anxiety because there's death to the illusion. They're offering an apology. It's not sincere. It's not sincere. You're calm. You're at peace. They might want to apologize for casting the illusion, for bringing fear to your inner peace. It's not sincere. The only reason they're even saying it is because they're in a freaking tower, feeling sorry for themselves. Let them deal with it a whole lifetime, or many. They brought imbalance to many people with their little F-boy journey, F-girl journey. A whole history, a whole big photo album full of little targets of people who are thankful for life, working in life, caring about others in life, trying to destroy their mindset regarding love and union, devotion. So they're in a tower because of the history. They're in a tower because of the history. They're losing their freedom because of the negativity, the lying, the bald-faced lying. They were hiding their true intentions, and this was it the whole time. They wanted to bully you. They wanted to tear you down. They wanted to destroy your self-confidence. So they're getting cut out. They're a betrayal. They're disloyal. They're nothing but a jackass. The truth is out here with the Ace of Swords. You're making difficult decisions. You need to bring, or you are bringing, a state of balance. You're bringing perfect harmony into your world, which is rippling out into the community. Your future career here is what you're doing. I guess you're separating out F-boys and F-girls. So you're kicking them out. They got to get out. Bullies. People who get involved in relationships just so they can destroy the mental and the emotional well-being of somebody, perhaps even physically hurting them. You can see the truth of it. The lies, the disloyalty. So they were talking about a psychic, medium, representative, chosen to make decisions on behalf of a wider collective. This Knight of Wands is getting disconnected because of this kind of stuff in the history. They're in doubt. They're envious. They're envious of the sweetness. They want all the sweetness. Somebody unseen once described me as sugar and barf. That's what these people are. They look at the feminines that they're so envious of as sugar and barf. Yeah, they want to go have a freaking intimate encounter, but then that makes them want to throw up, so they go away. I don't think they're really into women. I think they just want the sweetness that the women bring to the world. They want to destroy it and claim it, dress up in the energy of it and say, I am so pretty, or whatever it is they want to say. I don't know. Vow. So they're envious of your vow. They're having doubt. They're in envy. You've got a vow. This is like you are one with spirit. You're intimately connected, not in a vulgar way, but energetically, spiritually, soulfully connected to the divine and each other. You got a Knight of Wands, or you got a King of Wands here. King of Wands, star. Could be the King of Wands is with this star, and this Empress reverse is codependent on this star's mind in order to do anything, in order to make any plans. So they can't make any plans. They can't schedule nothing. They can't create nothing. They can't plan anything. They're desperate. They're in fear because you're stepping into your new career, and this is the completion of your Ten of Wands burden. They're desperate to take you out. They don't want you to be an influence in this world. They need to continue being ludicrous. Look, they're desperate because you're bringing eternal love. You are a being of eternal love. They're in fear and they're getting desperate because you're bringing in, you're ushering in a cycle of eternal freaking love, complete support that is trustworthy and true. Getting rid of these bullies, these nasty negative Nellies, these little F-boys that just want to get you pregnant and then destroy your freaking health, your spiritual well-being, while piling on you their karmic debt. And once they have that relationship, there's that cord, and they can continue dumping crap through that cord onto you, filthying your energy. So we got the Chariot here. There's a victory for this King of Wands. He has overcome the challenges, and people are in regret over the change here. Friendships and relationships are going to be for serving the higher good. There's a switch up in the perspective regarding health and honesty, the transparent and truthful status of things. Luck. There's a fortune that honesty and transparency brings. Somebody once said, like love, I used to think love is the highest frequency, energy that you could have. But then somebody said that authenticity is actually much higher than love. And when you got authenticity, transparency, and love, well then, I guess you're a star and you're a rejuvenating, transmuting king or queen. There you go. Anyway, you're bringing a whole bunch of luck here. There's a whole bunch of luck. So we're switching up the perspective. And that was one of the things that was somebody said in the dream state also, is that they did not appreciate the perspective of the reality of divine feminine. They wanted to go out and use their swing on anything that got it stiff. They didn't want to control their urges. They didn't want to be responsible and loyal to a family tree. They didn't want any responsibilities. They couldn't even keep their s.e.x.ual appendage disease free. I mean, they're completely immoral without responsibility. They fell into a trap. They got bound to their own commitments that they made trying to bind you, and they're getting kicked out, they're getting cast away, and they want to apologize. Justice is here, the law of cause and effect, and this stuff that they've been doing is being stopped. The divine stated this is the end of their relationship with batteries. This Empress reversed looks at this star as a battery, as a higher, a high priestess connection to the divine. This person doesn't have any connection to the divine, nor will they ever, because they're not willing to do the work. They're just willing to go out there and be unfaithful and have sex with whoever, and they're codependent on them, using the mind and the energy of this star in order to make their plans, and they are not able to now. They're not able to. Your alliances said no. They're being stopped. They fell into a trap. Your alliances said no. Your alliances have answered your prayers. You persevered through all of the work that was being done on you, and you've learned new skills and knowledge. So now, you've lived and learned, so you're going to go teach. You've got this new career. You're bringing a state of perfect harmony into the world, restoring balance, making certain that friendships and relationships are honest, trustworthy, and true, transparent. You can count on them. It'll bring good fortune and everlasting love. Connected with Source. Connected with Source. Yeah, so these ones are suffering a loss. They've lost you, and they're losing everything that ever meant anything to them. It's a miracle. This is good news. You're okay. You're stable. While they're sick, they're getting ready to be sick. They got to go deal with every nasty ailment and suffering that they put upon you. And now they want to compromise. They're like, wait, teach me. They want to compromise. Wait, I need a house. I need land. But you're not hearing it. You're not hearing it. You don't want to hear it. And it could very well be that they got a lot of stuff going on in their head and in their environment. They may be being haunted mentally and in the physical environment. And then we've got death. They can say goodbye to their sweet dreams. They can say goodbye to their sweet dreams. Death to their sweet dreams. They're furious because they're being locked up. They're losing their freedom because of all this magic that they cast out, trying to get you to lose your freedom. It's back on them, and they're furious about it. There's nothing they can do. You're a sweetheart. Your dreams are coming true. You're a sweetheart. You're going to have this beautiful, total, loving, and supportive union, and you're going to have a new family tree. What you've been dreaming of your whole life, what these people kept from you. So, and the thing is that you are victorious over the natural disasters that they were bringing to your life. You triumphed over them. And you've got your halo. You've got this beautiful ideas. You've got a lot of ideas on how to maintain your inner peace, on how to maintain harmony. You know, you've done a lot of studying, perhaps, with a lot of different cultures, and you might have incorporated many of those techniques into your own regimen when it came to keeping your own inner harmony. You're a high-value person. You're a high-value person, and now you're planning. You're planning for your family. You're planning for your family to bring care and love into this. And it could be some people are getting the promise to become blind. They're losing their third eyesight. They won't be able to spy on what you are promising each other or what you're promising for the community. They'll be blind to it. They don't get to participate in it. They don't get to learn from it. They don't get to be anywhere near it. They can't telepathically look into it. Divine Mother, in one of her aspects, stated that they won't be able to curse your land or your business. I'm pretty sure this is the end of them controlling the consciousness of people. I think that you know the techniques or what the symptoms of it are anyway, so you can pinpoint it and bring attention to it. $52. Oh. Yeah, they fell into a trap. Just pull one of these. Let's see what this says before we close out. I think that this pretty much says it. What we got going on here. So you're very strong. You're coming into your wish come true. You're going to have a life of luxury, and you may not even know what that means. You know, if you're like me, it's just comfort is comfort. You know, luxury. I don't know. So anyway, somebody needs to get something off of their chest. They're very envious. They're feeling overwhelmed. They're overloaded. They really went too far with this. They really went too far with this. They're feral. They had no boundaries whatsoever. They did not apply any concept of right or wrong. They just went all the way south. So now they want to come clean. They got caught being very malicious regarding your generosity and your gifts. They did not take your advice. They may be confessing about your generosity, about how you were sharing. They may want to confess. There's an apology here. Yeah, this is a person that did the very least to gain the most. They didn't want to take your advice. They didn't want to do the work. They didn't want to be loved. They wanted to be callous and rude and crude. And they wanted to be superior and just smack somebody down if they thought they had any right to speak, right? They are caught doing the very least for the very most, and how they did it was by hurting people. Good. honest, grateful, thankful people who cared about the world and the people in it. They targeted those who were bringing love and harmony to the world and friendships and relationships. They targeted them specifically to remove them from the foundation so that they could have a big old F-fest. There's some progress here. There's an enterprise. This could be worldwide. There may be very many psychics and mediums and travelers around the world who are participating in this ship. So yeah, so you're moving forward with the death to illusions. Everything is known. They're having fear and anxiety. It's like, oh my gosh, they want to apologize for messing around with the peace and well-being of this star seed. You're a special person. They came up, they tried to take you out. They thought that it would be easy peasy because you're so forgiving and you're so sweet. They didn't realize you would be that strong. They thought that you were just a pushover, that you would do whatever they say because no malice was in you, so you could not recognize it when they brought it to you. Instead, you did what you were here to do, which was be generous and share the gifts of the soul that benefited yourself and others, and they were abusing you hard, laughing at your vulnerability. So yeah, they brought imbalance. This Knight of Wands brought imbalance to the lovers, to unions, and that was their whole freaking goal. They targeted people who were thankful, who were grateful, who actually cared about themselves and others in the world, and they would target them just so they could destroy their mind and their sense of self. The memory, conspiracy theories, this person would do that and then they would tell lies about them as though they were trash, doing their best to crush them, bully them. They're in a tower because of the history of their bullying. They're being cast away. They're losing their freedom for all of the negative stuff, all of the negative intentions. Your intentions shall be your gift. Like their intentions, what excited them, what got them stiff thinking about making intimate encounters with you, was that their intentions were to tear you apart, and the power excited them. Self-care. They're going to have to go take care of their own damn self now. Nobody cares about them anymore. Go take care of your damn self. They're losing their freedom. They're going to have to deal with bullying and negative situations, and they're going to have to learn to take care of their own damn self, because they're a betrayal, deceitful little liar who breaks the hearts intentionally. It gives them a thrill to rip the heart out of a loving, kind, empathic, grateful person. And that's the truth. So there's difficult decisions being made here. You're restoring a state of perfect harmony into your world, bringing balance here. You've got a career in the future of separating out those who don't give a crap about anything or anyone. Not even their own damn self. They didn't want to do the work to improve the value of their own soul. They didn't want to be more. They didn't want to expand and grow. They weren't excited about So the Knight of Wands, Mr. Prince Charming, is getting disconnected here. He's getting disconnected. He's envious of you. He's having doubts because you have a vow. This is a billionaire status. Like you're a well-known starseed with a vow in the universe. Somebody mentioned not too long ago, Queen of the Universe. Maybe you are. Maybe you're a goddess of time and you've developed your own little universe and you are the queen. I don't know. Take it as it resonates. Limitless potentiality. And eternal is eternally. I don't know. And if time and space don't exist, then... So, this Empress here is codependent on the star and the energy of the star and the mind connections and the gifts that go with that star in order to plan for anything. They can't make any plans. They can't do anything without the energy of the star and the mind of the star. They're not the star. So it's being announced to stay in your own lane. Yeah. This person, it's like, you know what, yeah, oh, I guess it's the Oracle, is saying, you know what, I guess it's an Oracle. The star is an Oracle. Saying, go get F, stay in your own lane. I'm announcing all this crap to everybody. Because you're just a jackwagon. Red freaking flag. Okay, shadow demon, this Empress reversed is a simp influencer doing whatever they need to do for somebody who cares the least in order to be seen as an influencer. This love bombing, gaslighting individual who fed their love interest as a snack to their black hole, shadow demon, whatever, they have to give the land back. It wasn't theirs. They're triggered, this fashion witch, because they're jealous here. What a bunch, yeah, troll, a jealous freaking vampire troll hung up on their life of privilege. Amazing. So they're afraid because of your abundance, this career you're entering into, separating out anybody who does not care about anything. And you can tell a lot about a person by the way they treat lesser beings or those they deem to be lesser than, right? Weaker, smaller, vulnerable, naive. So they're afraid because you're entering in a new career. This is the completion of your 10 of Wands burden. They can't trap you. They can't keep you. They're in fear and they're desperate because eternal love is here. They're triggered by eternal love. They're desperate. You're a legend. You're a legend. And this cult leader, this trauma-bonded cult leader thinks you're a bitch. Man, you're a freaking unicorn. And you got this narcissistic, privileged troll here freaking out. A vampire witch. Yeah, they're mad because they got to give back the land. See, they would get with people, maybe get a contract, and then, get their name on the will or get married. Feed their, sacrifice their person and then get all the stuff. This is how they got their stuff. Shady, freaking nastiness. Duplicates, stepping in, pretending to be the person. And it's so very strange, people couldn't see that it wasn't the person that it once was. And they're like, oh, that changed. Well, they must have got some dental work, or they must have worked out, or they must have did this, or why are they looking 20 years younger all of a sudden? No, I don't know. I mean, come on, man. Y'all say. So what you got here is a victory here. You're in your chariot, King of Wands, overcoming the challenges. These people are in regret over the change. Friendship and relationships are here to serve the higher good. We're going into a new perspective. Regarding health and honesty, truthful, transparent interactions. This is a reward. You're coming into your reward and you're getting the land back. So yeah, you're not going to go and say, whatever. You're going to be completely honest about everything, so that nobody gets blindsided by some crap that they, maybe somebody was too afraid to tell. And this is the thing, you got to overcome your fears, right? And these people operate on fear. They're jealous. They want to snack on you. Danger, danger, shadow demon stalking you. You're an influencer. And you got this simp wanting to do the most, or the least, wait, the most for somebody who cares the least. So there's a love bombing, gaslighting person out here stalking the legend. Cult leader thinks that you're a bitch. They may be trauma bonded with this unicorn. There could be a trauma bond. This privileged narcissist, vampire troll, freaking fashion witch might have done something, and now they can't get out of it. They fell into an old damn trap. They couldn't keep you or trap you. They fell into their own damn trap. Well, you know what? I think I'm going to go ahead and leave this one here. I hope that it clarifies something that you already intuitively knew, and I will see you on the next one, everybody.